couple of years down the road, things are going pretty okay,
Okay.
which is good because for a while there, you weren't sure if you were going to make it, you know?
What do you mean by that?
You just kept getting these good opportunities that would like either go away or turn bad, you know?
Man, sounds like me.
Like you one thing that happened is you were starting to get a little bit of commercial work, which is good.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
However, you were in like a widely mocked commercial that kind of like sunk you as far
What do you
as
mean
a
sunk me?
because you would go into auditions for other commercials and they would just be like, "Oh, aren't you the guy from the?" So the commercial that you were in, it is for a product that did not end up doing well, and the commercials didn't help. It's basically like it's an easy bake oven for adult men. And essentially what it is it's like, hey, are you like a single older guy? You're probably gonna, date some single moms out there, baby. And here's what you got
Wait,
to do.
I'm using the premise of dating a single mom to sell this easy bake oven.
Yeah, for adults, yeah, for like adult men. And so the whole thing is like, hey, come into this really good at using an easy bake oven, and you're gonna, capture this kid's heart. And so the commercial is you like sitting like stiffly in a living room. There's like a
What do you mean by sitting stiffly?
you're just like you're just you look very uncomfortable.
Okay.
You look ill at ease, almost like you
Okay.
don't want to be there.
Not like aroused.
No, you have a raging erection,
Oh,
but you're
okay.
also like clearly uncomfortable. And so
Great.
you're sitting there and excuse me, you just hear like the sound of like a clock ticking in the background. And as you sit in dead silence with this woman who's like sitting across the living room from you, um, she's like in her late 30s, you know, typical commercial babe. And in between you guys is this like 10-year-old kid. And it's kind of awkward. You're just kind of sitting there. Eventually the mom stands up. She's like, "I'll be right back, guys," and like goes into the next room. And you kind of like look and just like stare at like this little kid, and she stares back at you. And then the kid takes out like this easy bake oven, but it's like black. You know what I mean? It's painted black and it has like a rock and roll aesthetic to it, kind of. You know, there's like lightning bolts on it and shit like
This
that.
sucks.
And it's an easy bake oven, and she start, and this kid sings to you in the commercial. It's the song is to the tune of "If You Want to Be My Lover"
What?
by the Spice Girls. Remember that song? If you want to be my lover, you gotta get
Yeah.
with my friend. But this one is
I
like,
gotta get with my friends.
gotta get with my friend.
I have a hilarious story about that song, but
Really?
now's not the time. Yeah.
Uh, so the parody version that they're using in this commercial, it's this kid going, um, "If you want to fuck my mother, you gotta learn how to bake." And
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah. If you want to fuck my mother,
and so The
Jesus
commercial is
Christ.
like the kid like showing you how to like bake different things in like a quick little montage, like a quiet montage over the music. If you want to
This
fuck my
kid's
mother.
trying to get his mom laid or her
Yeah, it's a little girl. Well, not a little
little
girl, but
girl.
like a 10-year-old girl or whatever. And so
Still too
the
young to be participating in a commercial with this premise and language.
well, you're starting to see why it kind of got a lot of attention for the wrong reasons. So the mom comes back in and she's like, "Huh?" Because like in front of her, it's you and this like 10-year-old kid, and you guys are just like eating brownies together and like laughing about, some private joke or something, some inside
This
joke.
mom left her child with a strange man that's trying to fuck her alone for 10 minutes? Like,
Well,
why would you leave your
basically,
child with that guy?
well, it's implied that, that you're dating this woman, this single mom, and now you're meeting the kid for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So
So
you're not
that's
necessarily a stranger. Like that's like the implication. They don't spell it out or anything like that. It's just if you start to read between the lines on some of it.
that's
So
insane. What
she
a
comes
crazy
back,
ass commercial.
and you guys are laughing together, and then and the mom goes like, "Whoa, seems like you guys are getting along famously." And then you guys go like, haha, yeah. And then you both turn to each other at the exact same time. And the commercial ends with you guys looking at each other going, if you want to fuck my mother.
Oh no. They're letting us say fuck in this commercial.
Well, it's like, it's bleeped out, but on the internet it isn't. They have the uncensored version on like YouTube and stuff. It has the most thumbs down in YouTube history.
That seems ridiculous.
Not well, part of it also is that while you were filming it, you like tripped and fell, and your pants came down a little bit, and you were wearing white boxers with red hearts on them, and they kept it in, and so that also kind of helped, you know.
Whatever.
So,
So
so
this
you're like,
ruins my career.
well, you would think that. I'm not going to say it ruins your career because this is just you doing like commercials. So you've done like commercial auditions since that just did not work out, especially once this commercial comes out and people just make fun of it on the internet and stuff. Like, what were they thinking?
It seems
Uh,
like they would want that guy to be in another thing because he has like recognition value.
yeah, I mean, you'd think that, but I guess the companies are like, yeah, we're trying to. They go when they let you know that you don't get the part, they're like, yeah, we just, you're a nice guy, Aaron, but we went with someone more dignified.
All
So,
right.
but what? So you're kind of like, all right, well, I can still do other stuff. It's not like you're shut out from the commercial acting world for sure, but you can do other things. One day, you were like walking. You were doing like a road gig in Northern California.
NorCal.
Yeah, you're up there in NorCal. You were working with this road comic. So he's a Christian comic, but he's like very dirty.
Yeah.
So like he'll do jokes where he'll just be like, you know, hey, the other day I was fucking my wife in the A, and I said to her, hey, if you were a guy, you'd be going to hell right now. Stuff like that. He's
Right.
like,
Right now.
he'll be like, he has like a 5 minute bit where he talks about how Mormons aren't real Christians and stuff like that. Catholics are idolaters. But you're like, all right. whatever, a gig's a gig. And you didn't really look into this or anything. Um, so you you do like the gig and you stay there overnight. And the next day, you it was only like a one nighter. Uh,
Yeah.
you were sharing hotels with this dude. His name his name is Dirty Harry. That's like a stage name.
Oh, gross.
Dirty Harry. In real life, his name is Harold Dirt.
God damn.
So you guys, you didn't really care for the act, but you talked afterward, and he's actually like a pretty, he's. I'm not going to say he's a fun hang, but he's definitely an interesting conversationalist. You guys talk mostly about sports. He doesn't really talk to you about Christianity or anything.
Fine, good.
The next day, before you leave, you see that there's like a market, like right around the corner from the hotel you're staying at. And so you're like, what the hell? I've never been up here before. Let's check this place out. So you were walking through the market, and I don't know how else to put this. You feel like there's something there calling you. You're not normally known as a market guy.
What? What does that mean?
Doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're not a type of guy who, goes to markets and looks for stuff. You just go to like, the regular stores and shit. But for some reason,
Oh, okay.
you felt like there was something just calling your name, literally.
Aaron, Aaron,
But it was like a little bit deeper.
Aaron, Aaron.
Aaron, 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 Aaron. And there's something like smooth about that voice, that velvety voice calling out your fucking name in the middle of this market in Northern California. And so you're kind of walking around and you're getting closer and closer to the sound. You turn the corner and there's this merchant who has a booth set up and they're selling various musical instruments. However, like there's a bunch of like guitars, tambourines, stuff like that. But there is only one bass guitar. And you kind of like walk towards it and it's like, "Yes, Aaron, Aaron, I'm here, here, here." And you're like, "Holy shit." And you like touch the bass and for a second all the electricity in the surrounding area goes out and then it comes back on. And the person who was running this stand comes to you. She's like, "Oh, it's the bass ye be after." She's like, "R on my trips overseas did I
What the
find
fuck?
this bass guitar." She like talks like that.
Like a pirate. Like a
Yeah.
pirate.
Um, she reaches out her hand to like shake yours, and you see that like her left hand, instead of it being a hand, is like a fucking hook. You look up, she's got like an eye patch. Do you shake her hand?
Her hook or her hand?
Her hand. The hook remains on the countertop.
Yeah, fine.
You shake her hand. Nothing happens. And you're like, "Yeah, I'm interested in this bass guitar." And you guys,
Why
haggle a
am I
little bit
interested in this bass guitar?
because it is calling
But I don't what
your name. And so you guys haggle for a bit. You get her down to $100 and a photo of yourself shirtless.
No, I'm not doing that for her.
You offer to throw that in as like an incentive, and she's like,
No,
"What?" And you're like, "Oh, never mind." So,
fucking
you
kidding me?
you you get the base and you bring it home, and you sit down, you turn on TV. It's the show Chunks. These two guys, Howie and Chip, they just like break different things, and they like chunk things in different ways. And you sit down with your newly acquired bass, and you just kind of sit there and noodle while you watch Chunks. In this episode, they managed to switch out the original. You know how in the Statue of Liberty, she's holding like a torch?
Yeah.
Well, they managed to switch out the torch without anyone noticing, and they're chunking it. And so they like encase it completely in ice, and they just like throw it off a fucking ledge. It lands on the ground and like shatters.
Jesus.
They turn, they look, they turn, they look to the camera, and and one of them goes, Howie goes, like, "Oh, say, can you chunk?"
Oh
And then Chip's
no.
like, "Chunks." Like you guys, like, it's like they're like making a statement. You know what I mean? You don't really get it, but you're like, "All right, whatever. It's cool. It's cool to watch. You love Chunks." And you
Dunks.
sit there and you just fucking play and you watch a marathon of this. And there's something about this bass that it just feels like home in your hands. You just sit there and play it for like 4 hours straight without even realizing it. You don't even have an amp yet. And excuse me, over the next like month, you become incredible at the bass guitar. All you have to do, like if you want to learn how to like if like you were sitting around and you turned on the radio, WLANALAX radio, DJ Jason Light, playing all the hits from the 90s and the early aughts, and they were playing Shimmer by Fuel, and you're like, man, I should learn how to play this song. And you just start playing it. You just start playing along to the fucking radio. And you're like, what the hell? So the next you're like, well, that was strange. You flip the channels to like oldie slash classic rock, and they're playing Hey Jude by the Beatles. And you're like, oh, Hey Jude. It's Pat's favorite Beatles song. I should learn how to play it. And you can just like play it immediately. And you just start noticing this, like there's like a pattern of this happening where you'll hear a
The
song.
prodigy.
Yeah, there's something where you don't even have to like, as long as you've heard the song before, you can just pick up the bass and just start playing. You don't even think about it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how fucking funky you sound
Oh,
playing you know, a song by the little band called the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
yeah, that's what I choose to do. I want to play some Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I mean they have some cool bass lines.
Sure. Mm. So I'm
That
just
song
playing the Red Hot Chili
Bomba
Peppers.
diddly dong diddly dong dong diddly dong bong boom boom. Yeah, you're playing some. You're getting funky with the peppers. You're popping with the peppers, as you call it, as you slap and
Oh,
pop your way through
oh,
the
come
fucking
on.
summer. Like you just get within a few months, you are very, very good at the bass guitar, and you start a YouTube channel where it's you just playing the bass. And people start noticing it and they're like, "Whoa, this guy's fucking good." And believe it or not, there's a lot of like big YouTube, bass names. And they notice and they're like, "This guy's pretty fucking good." And so they like start featuring you in their videos. And so you start to like build a following,
Great.
which is good. You're actually monetized it and you're making some sweet sweet cash, which is good because, you can't do the commercials anymore. Um, so you're saving up some cash. You're living in a part of town that you, to be honest with you, Aaron, cannot wait to be rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this town. It's called, or the part of LA called Angel Falls, where basically it's this part of town that's flooded. It's like, and the way that people get around is there's scuba gear that's just free for anyone who lives there, but it's a little cumbersome. So you can also just take like boats and stuff like that. Um, there's this thing that the locals do there where, so when it was flooded, there were still things like, underneath. There's things underneath the water, stores and stuff like that that are, abandoned because they're totally flooded. So there's a thing the locals do where at night they'll dive down and they'll like search through the, abandoned, now flooded department store or something, and they'll have to take something and bring it back to prove that they went down there. Now they'll like videotape them to put on YouTube, but not all the time. And I'm not even going to say it's necessarily common, but every once in a while they do lose someone to the
What do you
water
mean? Like they die down there while looting a flooded department store.
as part of a rite of passage game. Yes.
Well, that fucking
I
sucks.
mean, they're like,
Imagine
you
dying in
know,
a department store,
that's totally
flooded or
flooded.
not.
Yeah, in a dark flooded department store. And you've been living in Angel Falls. No one is totally certain how it got flooded. It happened a while ago, I guess. But
How
a
the
lot
fuck
of
is that
like
not on record?
because the
How is that
records
not?
were washed away
But
mysteriously.
new, whatever. I hate
So
Angel Falls. Bunch
why?
of guys on gondolas. You kidding me?
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of cool.
The Venice of Los Angeles.
Yeah, some people like they actually do the thing where like they'll dress up like a classic Italian gondola handler or whatever, and they'll sing opera to you and shit like that. And
I
sometimes
don't
like
need
the
that.
locals will sing back. So
Sucks.
living in so there's like, there's stories and there's rumors and there's hearsay, but no one's really certain exactly what happened. There's a local like splinter church. No one is quite sure what their deal is. Like their religious beliefs are very obscure and tightly guarded, though their symbol is like a crucified uh, rat, and they're like,
Okay.
yeah, everyone's just like, oh, okay, man, like we'll leave you alone, like just don't, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
they don't really they live all in like one apartment building in town, and honestly, there's not a lot of overlap between them and some other people, but they claim that there was a like a celestial battle when the town was still, not submerged in water, in crystal clear in parts water, though in some certain parts of the town it's like blacker than, midnight on Halloween. And so what happened in their telling of the story, there was like this battle between there was this angel who was just had classic boy next door, boyish good looks.
Yeah.
And yeah, they called him. Alpha,
Oh no.
and he was in heavenly battle with this other angel who like man, even like though he's a celestial being, this guy was ugly as shit. Ugliest angel anyone's ever seen. He had wings and stuff, but they had just like a bunch of like really bad like tattoos on them, you know.
Oh no.
And he was
Yeah.
just like just classic ugly guy.
Yeah.
Uh, and instead of wearing like an angelic robe, he's wearing like a jean jacket.
This guy sounds like a white trash angel.
Yeah, they call them Omega. And
Oh,
so Alpha
man.
you know, slew Omega, who then fell onto the earth and then caused this flood. That's their version. I mean, there's some holes in the story, to be honest with you, but that's just what that's what they say over in
All right.
in green grass apartments where these guys live.
Whatever. Fuck kidding me.
Church of the Rat, the Splinter Group. So anyway, so you're living there. You've got this base channel that you're doing, and you're starting to earn a little bit of money. There's people who you're starting to get like bass guitar companies reaching out to you, be like, "Hey, like we'll give you a free bass, like if you feature it in the video." And you're like, "Hell yeah!" You're getting like you're starting to get like sponsorships and stuff like that. And you've got ads running and stuff. And at the end of the year, you do some accounting, and you have made in over like the last 6 months since like going pro with this, you've made $50,000,
Damn, 50 large.
50 large, and you're like, man, I feel like there could be like a future with this.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm pulling in 100K a year,
Yep. Um, you go to sleep that night. It's New Year's Eve. You crawl into bed. You're wearing your what you always wear to bed, which is like a Victorian era uh one piece like pajama nightie for men.
I think this is what I wear to bed.
It's like the night before Christmas, like
Yeah.
Dickensian kind of. And you have like a little cap and stuff that you wear when you have to get up out of bed and stuff during the night. So
Sucks.
you you crawl into bed and you dream. You dream that you're sitting in a old like like a 1920s era bar, and you're sitting there and there's this just like unbelievable jazz music playing in the background, and you're kind of just sitting there in the dream, half listening to the music, looking around and realizing that like holy shit, this bar is occupied by all of like the great dead bassists. Charles Mingus is in there. He's leaning up against the bar, talking loudly, being kind of a jerk. There's is Jack Bruce dead? Oh yeah, a few years down the road, Jack Bruce by now is definitely dead. He's in there, holding his
There are very few
trusty
places I can think that I want to be less than at this specific time and place.
the bar of ghosts of dead bassists.
Yeah. This sucks.
Well, Jack Bruce is there, and he's got um his trusty fretless four-string bass guitar slung over his shoulder. And they're all, different people are talking, listening to music and stuff. You're not really sure where the music's coming from. You're like, this is fucking nuts. You kind of turn around, and sitting at the table with you is basically it's a little hard to explain because it's a dream. So the impossible can happen in dreams. But in this dream, what you're sitting across from you is both a man and a bass guitar.
Is this a man
And
with bass guitar features or a bass guitar with man features?
it like switches between a man and a bass guitar. It seems to, at least.
What the fuck,
And
Pat?
sometimes they're the same thing at the same time. You know, like I said, dream logic doesn't make a lot of sense. And it says to you, he goes, Aaron, I'll make this quick. I don't have much time. Aaron, I called out to you that day because I knew that you could be the one to set me free. He goes on to tell you that a very long time ago, he was a well, he doesn't know exactly. It's been so long, he's not totally certain what he was when he was on Earth, but he definitely could play bass well. He was punished by someone. He says the gods, but you're not really certain what exactly he means by that. He's punished for his hubris about his incredible bass skills and is turned into a bass guitar. And basically, he goes on to say, like, I knew that one day I'd find the person who can set me free, the person who can actually hear me. Aaron, when you wake up, I need you to destroy that bass guitar, and you'll set my spirit free.
No, I'm not going to destroy my bass guitar because of something I heard in a fucking dream. I've done a lot of things in my dreams that are
Sure.
very unrealistic,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, I'm not going to smash a fucking guitar.
But this feels less like a dream and more of like you hanging out in an actual, like it feels real. It can't be,
No,
but it
I'm,
feels
yeah, I'm not smashing my guitar. It makes no sense.
the name
I
of
would think,
of
what an
this
incredible dream.
the name of the bar you look up, it's just a bass clef. There's no like name.
Absolutely not. I'm not smashing anything.
Charles Mingus farts. You wake up.
Great.
You look over, and in the corner is that bass guitar.
That's where it'll stay
What do you do?
until I decide to play it again.
Do you
I'm
walk
not smashing
over?
the guitar.
Yeah. You walk
I'm
over
definitely
to it
not.
and like you pick it up and you feel it like I mean, you know, guitars can't be hesitant, obviously, but this bass feels like it's like hesitantly allowing you to pick it up. And you look down at it and you go, I could never destroy you.
Yeah,
And it like kind of relaxes.
like a scared animal.
Yeah. You play a funky little bass line, put it back down. You walk you walk outside to grab the paper and as you walk outside, you hear like music in the distance, like getting like louder. And you're like, what the hell? And you look up and the music playing is you know, you know that song Desert Rose by Sting?
Yeah,
I see a red LA. I
yeah.
see the gardens in the desert. Yeah, is playing.
It feels to me like the launch of the tantric sting cycle, you know,
Yeah, yeah. At least having us be aware of his, you know,
prowess,
yeah,
stamina,
disgusting personal life. So,
sting stamina.
and this like being, this like guy, kind of like comes into focus in front of you, and the music just gets louder, and it's this like dude, and he has like the head of like a falcon, and he looks at you, and the music gets like super loud and intense, and he says, "Hello, Aaron. I am Horace." And now the music's like the part where it's like, you know, the guy in the background's like la la ba 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 la, la, da, da, doing like the really intense stuff, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Holy
yeah.
shit!" And like the hair on the back of your neck gets stiff, and you're like, holy shit. And then he says, like, Aaron, I'd like to propose a wager or a trade. Sorry, I just woke up.
Yeah.
He goes, if you give me the bass guitar, I will grant one wish.
No, I'm making money. This bass guitar has been good to me. I don't want to give it up. No,
He goes, you could buy another bass, Aaron.
you grant me one wish.
He's like levitating off the ground.
No, I don't trust this fucking guy. I don't trust a guy who levitates.
In the distance, you hear like a different song playing, getting closer, and you're like, what the hell? And then suddenly, like standing in front of you is like a different guy. Um, the song playing is that song "Children of the Revolution" by T Rex. Bow, bow, down, bow, 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 bow. You know that song? We're
I
the
can't.
children of the revolution, honey. It's playing, and you're like, what the fuck? And this guy like is coming down the street on one of those like motorized scooter type things, and he gets close and like jumps off, and he's like, "Hello, Aaron. I am Loki of Asgard."
I want people just to fucking leave me alone. I just want to be left alone.
He's like, "I'll leave you alone, Aaron, if you give me the bass guitar."
No,
And
this is
this
my
guy
property.
looks just like the dude who plays Loki in the Avengers movies.
No, I'm not giving this. I'm not giving this guitar up. I'm having multiple celestial beings ask me for this guitar, which is leading me to believe it's worth something more than what I value it at. I'm not giving it up.
Uh, so you say that to them, and they're like, they both just like look deflated and defeated and sad, and they kind of just go like, ugh, and kind of like almost fold into themselves. You see them like drive away together. They go to there's like a Bennigan's, the last known Bennigan's in North America. They go there for lunch. You're like, that was weird. You go back inside and you're like, this has been quite a strange day. Uh, you go to grab your bass, and inside your room, holding your bass guitar, is this guy is it's mean to say this, but just ugly as sin. This guy is
Oh
just
fuck!
he's so fucking ugly, and he has like angel wings with like
Fuck Omega, that fucking guy.
he has like a CKY tattoo on one of his wings. He's
Jesus
like
Christ!
flames on like the other ones, you know.
Cigarette burns.
Yeah, one of the tattoos says only God can judge me.
Oh,
And you told him the bass, and he looks at you and he goes, time for Omega's revenge. And he like slaps the low string, the E string, and like a bolt of like lightning comes out of the bass and just like
are you
electrocutes you.
fucking kidding me? You kidding?
So Omega, the angel, it turns out that that is how it got flooded, and he's
Yeah.
back to like take his revenge on the townspeople.
Fuck
And
him.
so he, after he kills you, he goes on and slaughters everyone in the entire town,
Oh well.
and then like disappears. No one is quite sure what exactly happened to him, and no one finds out exactly what
Yeah.
happened there because there's no like witnesses or anything like that. But your YouTube channel the next day, they post a like a tribute video for you, and it's like Aaron Brooks is dead. That is all.
I deserve nothing more. I deserve nothing more.
Well, you're pretty good at bass for a while there. That's pretty cool.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?